What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? This your boy 49er Dion here, aka Niner Gang Podcast, back with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for all my YouTubers, and definitely turn on them post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, man, let's jump right on into it. So these are definitely just my picks for the week. Trying to let y'all know how I wound up shaping out. And we're going to go through them real quick, man, and I'll let y'all know exactly what happened. So just to give you a heads up, your boy turned out 10-6. Not bad for the first week. Hey, what's happening, 49er Chanel? Not bad for the first week. I can't be too mad about 10-6. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep working on things. Things will get a little bit better as time goes on. Some of these picks, I was actually crazy. Hey, what's going on, Melissa? Some of these things were actually crazy. And, man, these games, we got to go through it. So, like I said, your boy wound up 10-6. Pretty good record. Can't be too mad about that. I'm going to take a look at these scores and go over things really quick. Let's take a look. So we're going to start off with the Bucs and the Cowboys. Everybody knows that was a ridiculously crazy game. You know what I'm saying? Bucs and the Cowboys went down to the wire. The Bucs pulled that off. I had picked the Bucs originally before I had even watched the game as it pertains to who was the winner. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, saw that being a more of a beatdown on the Cowboys. But because the Cowboys went ahead and showed up and showed out, can't even be mad, man. They balled out. They fought to the bitter end. So next one, oh, man, we had the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. The Atlanta Falcons are nothing to write home about. The Atlanta Falcons are not a really good team, whether it be offensively or defensively. So with that being said, yeah, it was a little frustrating to see them, you know, wind up getting broke off the way that they did for Atlanta Falcon fans. But I definitely expected what I saw from Jalen Hurts. I keep telling everybody that Jalen Hurts is a quarterback to be respected. The man did great at Oklahoma. He did great at Alabama. And everybody makes it seem like he's just some, project quarterback that can't be, that won't be able to do anything at all. So I picked the Eagles. So I went ahead and wound up going 2-0 with that one. So next up on the board, we had the Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. The Steelers pulled that out 23-16. Now with that game, just to a quick recap, I expected Buffalo to come out with a head full of steam and make things happen. I definitely didn't, expect Buffalo to wind up losing this game. But the Steelers came out, defense balled out. TJ Watt showed the reason why he got paid. Steelers defensive line was balling. Najee Harris helped that run game a little bit. What's going on, Nick? I see you out there on IG. So Steelers went ahead and won that game. I wound up going, 2-1, dropping the game there. So next thing, had the Vikings versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this one, I went ahead and picked the Vikings. I thought that the Vikings would go ahead and pull this W off. I really did. And next thing you know, here come the damn Cincinnati Bengals winning the game. And they balled out, man. They showed, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow showed everybody. They said, hey, look, we ain't playing around. We're forced to be reckoned with. We're going to definitely show you why we're forced to be reckoned with. And, hey, they came in, they showed up, they showed out, and they got that W. Next on the list was the Detroit Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I've already done a recap show, so I don't have to go over a ton of stuff when it comes to that game. But at the end of the day, 49ers come out with the dub. The one thing I can say is I overreacted as far as the run game. We only actually gave up 93 yards, technically speaking, 2 running backs and 1 TD. So that is not an issue at all. We definitely had a really good time. With the run defense, it just looked bad because there were so many gashes up the middle. Longest run by either running back was 20 yards for DeAndre Swift, and I believe 16 for Jamal Williams, or vice versa. It's flipped either way. But, hey, 49ers come out with the dub. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. A win is a win. Now, this one here, I definitely picked wrong. It was the Cardinals and the Titans. I figured the Titans would go ahead and take the dub because of everything they have. You got Julio Jones, you got A.J. Brown, you got Derrick Henry. So I figured, hey, man, look, there's no way that the Cardinals should be able to stand up against that. I was wrong. And Chandler Jones showed up and said, since y'all didn't want to pay me, now I'm finna run this price through the roof and get broke off. He showed up with 5 sacks. The Cardinals went and balled out. Kyler Murray looked like a ridiculous stud. And Ryan Tannehill went back to looking pedestrian. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like they got killed. It was what was the score? 38-13. You expect with Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry that the Titans should score 13 points? I doubt that highly. I figured the Titans was going to get in there and, you know what I'm saying, at least make it a serious game. Next up on the list, Seahawks and Colts. It was 28-16. I did not expect the Colts to win this game. I did expect the Seahawks to win. I may not like the Seahawks because they're a division rival and no one cares for them as far as in 49er land. But at the end of the day, you got Russell Wilson, you got Tyler Lockett, you got DK Metcalf, you got Will Dissly. You know what I'm saying? They have the Chris Carson, even though 9 times out of 10 he usually winds up getting injured within 5 minutes of the first half. So it doesn't matter. Russ cooked. Seahawks won 28-16. Next game on the list was the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Washington football team. Now, a lot of people, I think odds makers had the Washington football team winning this. I didn't, because at the end of the day, it's still a situation where the Washington football team has to work on their offense. Defense is fantastic, but their offense has to get better. So what happened was Ryan Fitzpatrick went down with this injury. It's a hip sublation. They said he's pretty much out, you know, for at least a good probably 8 weeks. So they're going to have to run with Taylor Heineke and keep moving forward with that. I understand it. I get it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I picked the Chargers to get the dub, and they pulled it off. Justin Herbert went there. He did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He balled out. Herbert was 31 of 47 for, looks like 337 yards in the TD. And, you know what I'm saying? Keenan Allen, 9 receptions, 100 yards, balled out. Jets and the Panthers. I picked the Panthers in this one strictly based on the fact that I felt like they were the more complete team. And the Jets are still growing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would love for Robert Saleh to have gotten his first win as a young first-time head coach, but it just seemed like they, you know, there wasn't a lot there. Run CMC was running. He did his thing. And, you know, Sam Darnold wins his revenge game against his former team that went ahead and traded him away to the team that he currently is with now. Next up on the list, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Now, I didn't expect the Texans to be much of anything, strictly based on the fact that Deshaun Watson is on ice due to all the legal issues and whatnot that he has, but I was wrong. Tyrod Taylor came out there, showed up, showed out, and the Texans went ahead and pulled off this W, 37-21. They beat the Jags, and Trevor Lawrence loses his first ever NFL start. He did throw himself an interception, but hey, it is what it is. So next up on the list, we have the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this one here was absolutely fantastic. This was a great game. The thing was that the Browns were leading the game. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Everything worked out well, man. All they had to do was punt the ball. And that punter screwed up that punt, and it killed the rest of the game. The number one thing that I always say when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, do not give him any room to breathe. Keep your foot on the gas. I don't care if there's 1 second left in the game. Unless you up by 8 touchdowns, you keep going, because Patrick Mahomes is the comeback king. This kid finds a way to get back. Yesterday, what I noticed about Patrick Mahomes is he will throw balls in the air that no other quarterback would throw, because he knows Tyreek Hill has the body control to go find the ball, get upfield, and get the TD. And it always happens. This happens almost every game. He throws a ball and everybody looks and like, man, that was a fantastic throw. Half these throws are really bad throws. They're dead ducks. It's just he knows that if he puts it in a close enough proximity of Tyreek Hill, he'll get it and make a play. It is what it is. So Kansas City Chiefs pull off the comeback. They win 33-29. Dolphins and the Patriots. I expected the Dolphins to go ahead and get the dub. They win. Brian Flores best Bill Belichick, 17-16. Very, very close game. Only won by 1 point. Now this next game, guys, I didn't see this coming. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about out there, YouTube and when it comes to the even on IG, the Saints and the Pack. I expected the Pack to come in here and lay the hammer down on the Saints. I truthfully did. What's going on? 49ers Golden Empire, 49ers Ultimate Report. How y'all doing? So I expected the Saints to get beat down. I didn't expect Jameis Winston to come out and be who he was and do the things that he did. Let me tell y'all something. Jameis Winston went in there and laid the hammer down on Rodgers' ass. He broke him off. They 38-3. Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. Typically, when Jameis Winston throws 5 touchdowns, he's thrown at least 3 to 4 interceptions. And those interceptions have either went for pick sixes or they've turned into points for for that offense on the other side of the ball. But at the end of the day, the beauty of this is the Saints look great. The sad part of this is Rodgers looked like he just didn't give a shit. He truthfully looked like he just didn't care. Like at the end of the game, he's like, it's one game. We got 16 more to go. Like he was so calm, cool, and collected. But I really felt like his attitude was, I could care less about this, man. It ain't nothing to me. It was they were getting beat so bad they put Jordan Love in the fourth quarter and just sat Rodgers, sat Devontae Adams. Like they just literally, it was nothing. Like it was crazy. I mean, but I didn't anticipate that coming, so I definitely lost that because I picked the Pack to go in there and blow out the Saints. But hey, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a good record in Florida, and they had to play in Jacksonville, they had to play. I believe it was Jacksonville because they had the hurricane down there in the south. You know what I'm saying? Much blessings to those people. Hopefully everything is okay for the people, down in Louisiana. Next up on the list is the Broncos and the Giants. I did pick the Broncos initially because I felt like Teddy Bridgewater would do better. The sad part for the Broncos is they lost Jerry Jeudy. And I do believe that they lost someone else. I can't remember who else, but Jerry Jeudy is a big loss for them because he was their first-round pick last year. Expected him to do some big things. So that's a hard loss, but the Broncos get the dub in the end. The Bears and the Rams, I picked the Rams to win strictly based on the fact that the Bears are just not a good team. Defensively, they have a good defense, but offensively, when you have Andy Dalton under center, you're not going anywhere. And what happened? They brought in Justin Fields and Fields touchdown. So it's unfortunate for the Bears, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, man, until they move on from Andy Dalton and until they start getting some good offensive linemen and some actual wide receivers outside of Allen Robinson, that offense is going to continue to sputter. It's always going to be a problem. And then in the thriller of Monday night, the Ravens and the Raiders, that man, if you missed that game, you missed a game. That was a fantastic game. I swear to you. Like when I watched pretty much at least like the second half, probably right into the end and end of the first half, whole second half, and even all through overtime. Man, that was a hell of a game. Hell of a game. That one I'm talking about, if you're talking about entertainment, oh my God, you were definitely entertained. It worked out well, man. I picked the Ravens to win this game. I wound up losing out on that one too because the Raiders came back and said in our first home win in our home stadium, we finna ball out. And one thing I did see, Vegas had the stadium sold out, baby. That new stadium, Allegiant Stadium, amen, is beautiful and it was packed. Raider fans were everywhere. So you got to give them credit for that much. In our game, when it comes to the 49ers in Detroit, the one thing I can tell you is Detroit, y'all not supporting y'all team, man. I looked at them stands. There was more blue seats than blue jerseys in there, man. And that's sad when your team don't support you. So that's me, man. I wound up 10-6 this week. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I would have definitely liked to have done better, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. You don't win everything that you wind up picking. So this week I'm gonna make it a little bit more. So I'm gonna make it a little bit simpler. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the guys and the teams and what they have to offer and stuff like that, like I did last week. But I'll just go ahead and go through the games, let you know who I'm picking, and I'm gonna get off here. So next week we got Cincinnati and Chicago. I am taking the Bengals on that one, guaranteed. I feel like the Bengals are gonna keep it rolling. They're gonna make it happen. That's that. Houston and Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns on this one. I feel like Cleveland has a better defense. They have a way better offense, and I don't think that Houston's going to continue to keep holding up. The only thing is Tyrod Taylor. He's great. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's a safe bet. All these things happen. But I don't necessarily think that Tyrod Taylor is going to go ahead and take the Houston Texans to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to take the Browns on that one. The Colts versus the Rams. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams. I just don't believe the Colts are going to be that great. Their offense is going to continue to suffer without Quentin Nelson, and they don't really have very many receivers to speak of, so they got a lot of work to do there. Buffalo and Miami. So for this one, I'm going to ride with you again, Buffalo. Do not disappoint me. You got to help your boy out, man. I'm Buffalo. Let's get it done. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, all the guys. Get it done, baby. So we're going to go with Buffalo on that one. Next up on the list, we have New England and New York. That's obvious. I'm going with New England. I don't know what's going on with the Jets. I'm not sure how they're going to work out, but I don't think that the Jets are going to be able to beat New England. Buffalo, we're going to San Francisco and Philadelphia. Obviously, I'm picking my 49ers. I do feel like this might be a little bit closer of a game than we previously thought due to what happened with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles and their offense, though it was against Atlanta. It's still an NFL defense. So I'll go ahead and do a game breakdown. I'll have me a Philadelphia Eagles fan on. We'll do all that later. Las Vegas and Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Steelers on this one. I think the Steelers can go ahead and get the Raiders because they have a better defense. And I think that, the run game and Big Ben and the weapons he's got out there will prevail. So we go on New Orleans and Carolina, taking the Saints on that one. That's just an obvious thing. Carolina may have looked good last week, but they ain't going to be able to beat them Saints. Next up on the list, we got Denver and Jacksonville. I'm still going to roll with Denver in this one. Even though Jerry Jeudy is down, they still have Courtland Sutton. They still got a couple other people. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Denver in that one. Next up, we got Minnesota and Arizona. Taking Arizona in this one. After what they did last week, I think they're a high-powered offense, and I think that, honestly, they're going to wind up waxing Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is worthless. He's not a great quarterback. Everybody else says that he is. That's your opinion. My opinion is Kirk Cousins is a stat-padding quarterback, and he does it to get paid. They hand out the money to him because they're desperate. Everybody else can think what they want to think. My opinion, it's how I feel. It is what it is. So next up on the list, we got Atlanta and Tampa Bay. That's an easy one, Tampa Bay. I don't even need to explain that. We got Dallas versus the Chargers. Taking the Chargers. I'm going to roll with my dog, AC the Barber. If you're out there in L.A., look up AC the Barber. He is definitely chopping heads, and he does a really good job. Next up, we got Tennessee and Seattle. This one here, I'm going to take the Seahawks strictly based on the fact that they're in Seattle. Usually it's extremely hard to win with that 12th man there. And the Seattle Seahawks, they're pretty good at home. And if telltale signs or anything from what happened with Tennessee last week, I don't know how well this offense is going to gel. Then we got Kansas City and Baltimore. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs on this one. They may wind up getting down, but you can never count Patrick Mahomes out. Even though it's extremely annoying, it is what it is. And the Monday night game, we have Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, let me tell you something. The Lions came back in the last 4 minutes of our game, and they did that. We had backups in, and I completely understand that. They made it a game. It turned into, something crazy. This gave them a little bit of a run of confidence, and it says to them, hey, we can do this. We actually are okay. The coach was talking about biting off kneecaps. Well, they bit our ankles off, and damn near bit our kneecaps off, tried to send us to OT. But I think that gave them a lot of confidence and a lot of, thought going into the, the next week, man. So honestly, I'm going to take the upset here, going Detroit Lions over the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers winds up 0-2, and then he walks into Levi's Stadium 0-2, and we walk in with all of the momentum in the world. We are already 2-0. And we go 3-0. We whoop Aaron Rodgers' ass in week 3 in our home opener. But for right now, those are my picks for this coming week. I'm going to stick with those. Definitely keep y'all updated on the record as the season continues to go on. Thank you so much for tuning in. To the people on IG who joined, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for stopping in and listening to me ramble off about the NFL and my picks. For my people that stopped in on YouTube, thank you so much. Nothing but love to all y'all, man. And look for me coming this week. I will have an Eagles fan on, and we will jump on. I'll see if I can do this simultaneously as I'm doing it right now, because I'm literally, my phone is broadcast, my phone is live on IG, and then my YouTube is live on my computer. So I'll see if I can simulcast it where I can get this person to join me on IG and on YouTube. I'm trying to get these followers up. If y'all know anybody out there that loves 49er content, you know what I'm saying, shoot them my way, man. You know, I definitely love everybody. I appreciate anyone who comes in. But at the end of the day, I'm 10-6 for right now. That is not a bad start. And thank y'all for tuning in. And I'm out. Peace.